Eminent domain is the power of the government to seize private property for public use. Eminent domain is restricted by U.S. and state constitutions, which require that the private property owner be justly compensated for the taking. Eminent domain does undermine private property rights almost by definition, but there are many limits to that. Historically, under the common law, there's a bundle of rights we recognize with property, and there's a broad spectrum. Eminent domain could be a complete taking of the individual's private property. That is, they are now removed from the property and no longer an owner and have no rights at all. Or it could be a simple pipeline easement, for example, where you're simply putting a pipeline 3 to 4 feet beneath the ground, beneath the Earth's surface, and it's an easement, a right-of-way. Some experts have argued that pipelines displace people, farms, ranchers, communities, businesses when they use eminent domain. That rarely happens because the pipeline typically is taking a right-of-way or an easement. And so the owner continues to occupy that land. There's a concern that the powerful can simply go to the government and use their leverage to seize private property from the least politically connected or least powerful people in the body politic. For example, in Kelo versus City of New London, you essentially had a powerful developer who comes into what is basically a working class neighborhood in Connecticut and says to the government, look, I can do better with this land than the people who live here. Therefore, how about we get these people out of here, give them some money, and move forward? The Supreme Court held that that was okay, that the government may seize private property for purposes of economic development. That is highly controversial. Some states have enacted new laws for this infrastructure explosion that we see with pipelines. The state of Texas obviously is a major oil producer, and over the past 15 years, there have been maybe 3 or 4 major attempts and successful attempts at strengthening the rights of landowners as against pipeline operators. So for example, there's something called the Texas Landowners Bill of Rights. And before anyone can exercise eminent domain, they have to provide the landowner with this Bill of Rights, which basically is a very nice summary of due process rights. So the right to notice, the right to be heard, your right to go to court. Some states, like South Carolina and Georgia, have gone so far as to lay down moratoriums on pipeline construction. Anytime we want to move in on property rights, there should be a very careful cost-benefit analysis, and I think states around the country are trying their best. You're seeing added protections being put in for property owners post-Kelo and for pipeline construction as well. Nothing could be more fundamental to this country and its founding than understanding that property is the guardian of every other right. There's no stronger bulwark against tyrants that you have and you keep strong private property rights. This bias we have in favor of the property owner is a very good one that we should continue to have and protect.